here's the design of Airbnb. I mean, if every government website looked like this, my God, we wouldn't hate the government half as much. The thing I find with the government is when they need money, their websites are super high functioning. Yeah, there's his design. Look at the design of those homes. Oh, so beautiful.
So clean.
And then when you need to get something approved, like you want to get a license to do something or you want to get a building permit, suddenly, if there's not money involved that you're paying, it's arduous and painful. We need to make our websites as good or better than the private sector, because if you think about it, that will lower costs and increase revenue. And so that's really what they discovered when they did Doge, and people could have all kinds of opinions about it. But one of the great things they did was, I think he was involved in when people were either hired or let go, the amount of physical paperwork going down into like an elevator shaft, into like some, underground bunker.
Sub-basement.
Yeah, sub-basement, like from the Indiana Jones factory or like warehouse. Like that was kind of real. And they were like, the gating factor in how many people we can lay off or hire is the elevator going up and down. And like, Susan and Bob in the file section, their ability to file things. That's absurd. So we could save a lot of money. We could make it more delightful for customers of the government, and the government could actually make more money by doing this. A perfect example is now TSA pre and whatever the fast government thing is when you're coming from out of
there's pre-check, there's clear, there's global entry.
Global entry. So two of those three are the government, right? So global entry costs $100, so it's a revenue center. And if everybody got and I think TSA pre is like $80 for 5 years. So these are revenue centers for the government, and they make it safer. And if you can do them easily, well, that would reduce the amount of people we have to have at the borders and coming in and out, and people can get through quicker. So quality of life goes up, revenue goes up, and it's just a win-win-win for everybody. The government spends less, makes more, and the American citizens get to, get through airport security, get through the border, customs faster.
And I think it kind of shows different directions, Jason, we might go with our national design language here. The early era, definitely more symbolic, looking a bit like, old coat of arms from Europe. And then we had a modernist era, very, very clear, blocky letters. And then in the contemporary era, kind of a hybrid of the two. So which direction do you hope that Joe takes us? Because a lot of people seem to care a lot more about government design now than they did 15 years ago. So we should pick a direction. Where do you want to go?
I mean, the Nixon era for federal agencies was very typography designed, which I love. I'm a fan of typography. I'm a fan of like new fonts and that kind of stuff. But I will say the contemporary era where the Space Force logo looks like something out of Star Trek. It looks like a patch. It's round. It's iconic. I kind of like it. The hybrid between the two. But if I were to pick my personal preference, I'm in the modernist. I love New York, NASA with the curves. It's just awesome. I'm into typography, so I would go typography all day. But I could understand why people like the patches. What do you like best?
Oh, I'm so with you on this. And just to give you an example about how good this can look, this is the best Microsoft logo they ever put together. It's definitely slightly inspired by Metallica, but it has this bold, blocky feel to it that I just think is tremendous. So whenever I see something like that, it really speaks to me. More so than Andreessen's doing that
that was a weird one.
Art Deco, bronzed statue feel, which always seems a little like too back to the past for me. It doesn't really speak to me as much, but
I like the audacity of it. I didn't like the execution, but I give them points for the courage to do something audacious with their logo.